Hello and welcome my baking friends to another episode of Kids Bakes and Cakes. Today we will be working on a recipe, just the two of us, because Janelle is still at school and is not out for summer break yet. So today we are going to give you kind of an introductory lesson into buttercream, and we are going to make our popular vanilla buttercream. And I used to use just canned frosting like most amateur bakers, but once I discovered how easy it is to make buttercream and how much more flavor and how much more creativity you can get with it and how much you can really make it your own, I've never looked back. So today I'm going to give you just a very basic vanilla buttercream that Janelle uses often. So first, what I want you to take is 1 cup of unsalted butter, and you want this to be room temperature. And so 1 cup of unsalted butter equals 2 sticks. So we're going to go ahead and put that into our mixing bowl. And this recipe should make enough to ice a 13 by 9, or if you want to do like a tiered, like a double to 8-inch tiered cake. It should make plenty for that. So, as you can see, my butter is quite soft, which is what we want. I do not suggest softening it in the microwave. You can easily overheat the butter fat and make it so that your buttercream turns out really grainy and kind of runny, and they consider that broken. There are ways to fix that. Just beating it and maybe even chilling it a little bit in the refrigerator and beating it some more. But it's best to let your butter soften naturally. So we're just going to beat our butter for about 30 seconds on a low speed. And once you know that it's nice and chopped up, we're going to speed it up a little bit. And so as you can see, it is nice and creamy and ready to go. So next, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and add your remaining liquids. So we are going to add, for this vanilla buttercream, we are going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we are also going to add 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, and you can also use milk. You can use half and half. I like having all the extra fat that comes in the heavy whipping cream. Plus, as you whip it, it gets that nice fluffy texture that whipped cream has. So we're going to add 1/2 cup of your choice. And the great thing about making buttercream from scratch is you can adjust the recipe to however you feel. And don't be afraid to try something new. If you think, hey, you know, this might actually be really good if we add orange extract, or if we throw in some chocolate chips, or whatever you kind of want to try. It's not a bad idea to try different things. When you do try things, I would add just a little bit, taste it, see how it comes out, and you can always add more, but you can't take it away once it's in there. So we have our 2 teaspoons of vanilla, we have our 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, and we're going to go ahead and just stir this just a couple seconds. Okay, so I changed my mind. It was more than a couple of seconds. But I kind of liked how, as you can see, the heavy whipping cream is already starting to get a little thicker. And as you whip the butter too, it'll also help it to thicken as well. So we're going to leave it right there for now. And next I want to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now if you're using salted butter, you may want to just add a little bit of salt, taste it, see what you think. but we're using a 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of salt because we are using unsalted butter. Okay. There's our 1 teaspoon of salt. And the only other thing we need to add is we need to add our confectionery powdered sugar. And generally, a buttercream with these types of ingredients take between 4.5 and 5 cups of powdered sugar. So what I suggest doing is adding a 1/2 cup at a time, stirring it in, seeing how you feel about the texture of the buttercream and also the taste. If you add too much buttercream or too much powdered sugar, it's going to start to get really thick. And also you don't want it to taste too sweet. So we're going to add a 1/2 cup at a time and see where we like it. And we're going to have it on low so that as it's on low, there'll be a little bit of a powdered sugar cloud, which if you're concerned about that, you can always wrap your mixer as you add it in. But generally, if you add it in kind of slow, you're not going to have too much of a cloud. So there's 1 cup, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit just to get it well mixed. Okay, now I'm going to add another cup and put it back on low. And I'm using a 1/2 cup measuring cup right now. So there's 2 full cups, and then we're going to speed it up and mix it in. And as you can see, the cloud of confectionery sugar is starting to rise. And already, I'll show you, we're starting to get a really nice texture, a really nice consistency of buttercream. But I think if you would taste it right now, you would mostly taste the butter. So here is our 3 cups, so we're going to go ahead and mix that in on low. Okay, now we're going, since we have our 3 full cups, we're going to go ahead and add our 4th cup, 2 scoops here. Mix that in. And now would be a good time to dust down these sides with a spatula to make sure that you're getting all the ingredients incorporated well. And I like the texture of how this is getting, so I'm going to whip it for about 20 seconds, and then we'll test it and see if it's where we want it to be powdered sugar-wise. And I'm just going to push this through and make sure that this is all getting incorporated really well. And I'm going to mix it for about another 10 seconds and scrape the sides just to make sure nothing is out of balance. And so at this point, it's really up to your preference. Do you, when you kind of scoop it, do you like the way that it is going to decorate, whether you're putting it in a piping bag or on a cake? You know, do you like the texture? This is a little moist yet. It's not as thick as I would normally do. And the next option is always taste. You can always taste it and see what you think. So I need to get a little more powdered sugar. So at this point, we're going to add half a cup increments because we know it's close. Whoa! I forgot to start it on low. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add that next half a cup to make it a total of 5 full cups of powdered sugar if I count it right. And yes, I like the way this feels a lot better. I think it's going to be a lot more spreadable and easier to work with. So the last thing we need to do is we need to try it. You should always try everything you make just so you know how any changes that you have done alter the recipe. And I think that's great. It's not too sweet. It's nice and fluffy. It's got a nice vanilla flavor, but nothing is overpowering. It's a nice, easy way to adjust your buttercream and to make something that is 100% you, and you'll be amazed at how much better it makes your recipes over canned frosting. So if you have any questions at all, leave us a comment or a question below in the comments section and we will get back to you, or email us at kidsbakesandcakes@gmail.com. Again, we thank you for watching and check out our other tutorials. Thank you.